What's what we did? We moved. I cleaned the other house, deep clean, and we've been cleaning on this one for weeks. Off and on, not steady. But yeah. So now we'll just be saving up to buy again because we used a lot of money to move and our teeth. And so I'm ready to contribute. I've got a few houses I'm supposed to go and do estimates on soon. I'm trying to get my room set up so I can, I'm trying to get my room set up so I can go back to Badland and doing my crafts at night and sales and make my sample videos and just shut the door and walk out. But when I said some things are happening for our family, I meant that. Like, we got our teeth done. These are just my temporaries. My pretty ones will be made next. We moved into a bigger house, and Kevin did go to Huntsville for a possible promotion. And they said that if he don't get promoted this round, then we'll be going to Chattanooga within the year for the next leadership conference. He was one of 3 people for the job that he was wanting, one of 3 people out of 30,000. And he was one of 20 people chosen for, no, he said one or 10 or 15. I always say extra, but he said between 10 and 15 people out of 20 to 30,000 people. So that was his second leadership conference, and he will be, like I said, either promoting or going to the next one. And that could be a promotion. So life is looking up. It is. It really is. And someone asked about the kids. Look, I'm not going to make my kids come home until we're in our forever home, but I am going to go back to the courts, and I'm going to petition for weekends and birthdays and holidays. And then when we get our forever house, hopefully it'll be big enough, 4, 5, 6 bedrooms, hopefully 5 or 6 bedrooms. We can take it back to court and then petition for them to come home. The older 2 may give me a fight because they're 16 and 14. I understand that. But I still have Andy, Neelan, Trustin, Layton, and Riley, my oldest. That's 5 children. Plus me and Kevin, plus my craft room, my office, my craft room. So we need at least 5 to 6 bedrooms. So this makes it to where we don't have to be so jumpy for buying, and let that be more of a planned out thing to where we can look at houses and not, feel like we're forced to take something. And then it'll give us a little bit of time to see what that job promotion is, what's happening with it. So, but yes, we do plan on doing that. I've already got 3 houses that I'm supposed to give estimates for my cleaning business. I didn't promote my cleaning business yet because I didn't want to meet new people with no teeth. So I'm getting used to my teeth so that when I go meet new people, they won't judge me for being toothless. Grandma's okay. I just took a couple weeks off from my phone, and I just moved in silence. And so that's why she posted that, because I really hadn't been talking to her. I've just been quiet the last few weeks. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I just don't touch my phone a lot. Really, if you want to be honest, all I was doing on TikTok was I was getting up and requesting samples and going on about the day. So, but she's good. She thought she broke her arm or her elbow back a few weeks ago, but the doctor said he didn't see any broke parts, so thank goodness for that. I told y'all that when I got my bottom denture done that I would wear my dentures, that it was just because my tops and my bottoms didn't match, and that was what happened. Now that I've got my bottoms out, they feel much better. And yes, I would never be like, oh, Your Honor, I want my children home right now. I would never do that. And people can talk bad about me all they want, but with my older son, he was taken to Illinois, same thing. The guardian, his dad, was supposed to chaperone our meetings, supervise our meetings at his discretion, what one was best for him. And it came to a point where it was just him and my son and no one else involved. And I was starting to get to talk to him more and go see him when I wanted, when I could. And, he's asked me before, Mom, why don't you take it back to court and get me for like the summers or try to get me, period. To me, that's not right and that's not fair. When his dad had taken him, I had left my ex-husband, the 3 kids' dad, the one that was really abusive. I had left him, and they used that against me to give Riley to him. They really didn't take him; they gave him to Matt. But he says, well, Mom, why didn't you take it back to court and get me, like half the time, or etc., or fight to have me all the time? And I said, Son, do you remember how it was when you left at 7? And you lost all your friends and you lost all your family and you were moved up there where nobody that you knew and you had to start all over. He was like, yeah. And I said, so if Mom would have done that, you'd be right back down here starting over again. And you would lose your friends and everything that you had going for you up there. So I would never force my children to have to come home and live with me, but I am going to petition for weekends and holidays and birthdays. And then when we get our forever house, take it to court, and if they, take it to court, and if they want to stay part and part, I'm okay with that. If, I can't say what will happen until it happens. So I'm just going to pray that the best happens, and we all transition good, and there's going to be issues, there's going to be feelings, there's going to be emotions, there's going to be, that's going to happen. But you never know what will happen or how it will feel or how it will go until you're in the middle of it. So I can't say what's going to happen. I can just say what I'm hoping will happen. I'm hoping that we'll take it to court and get weekends and holidays and birthdays or something to start with. I'm hoping that Kevin gets promoted, and if he don't get promoted, we buy a house in the next little bit. And I just pray that it keeps going up like it is, that life just keeps progressing. So, Oh, Jennifer, sweet pea, have a great day, beautiful. Oh. No, I didn't lose them. We let them go with family. Listen. I thought you were being rude. Listen. This is my backup account. I can't go live on my main account since July 24, so I use this account. But back in April the 8th of 24, I had an insurance ticket from the county that I was staying in the hotel at. Now, I didn't know it. First, let me just make it very known how it all went down. They tried to get Kevin in trouble for a pew-pew that was mine. Legally owned, legally possessed, legally kept. I had it. I had open and closed DCS cases. Nothing was ever said. When these people started attacking me, they started with the people that owned the house by connecting with them to cause my life hell. We all watched it happen. First, the pew-pew charge didn't work. We spent $18,000 beating that case. As soon as that case was dropped in February, they officially evicted us. We moved into the hotel. After they came to Grandma's and ran me off from Grandma's, threatening her. 911 calls were made about this, so it's the truth. It can be pulled up. We go to a hotel across the state lines like DCS tells us to because they say, maybe it'll stop. Maybe it'll stop. If you go to Mississippi where he works, maybe it'll stop. So we do that. 3 weeks, almost 3 weeks. They come every week, once to 2 times a week to check in on us. They approved it, everything was fine, etc. They show up April the 8th after the pew-pew didn't work, after the eviction didn't work. Because, see, they were hoping that if Kevin went to jail for that pew-pew, then I would have no income to take care of the kids. So they could say, hey, she's without income. She can't support her kids. We need to take them. Well, that didn't work. Then we moved in, Grandma, and they ran me off from there. So we went to the hotel. So then they come up with a $500 insurance ticket that I had forgotten about from 2019. So 5 years prior. They came to the hotel. They took my children because of an insurance ticket. They took my two oldest boys to Memphis, put them together, took my daughter, put her together by herself, and put my 2 babies together in their own house. So all of them got split up. I booked into jail and out of jail with it completely paid off, no court date, completely taken care of within 2 hours. My children were not even in Memphis by then. They hadn't even been split up yet. So we go to court. We were not educated back then like we are now. We go to court. Kevin wants to comply and not fight, not educate himself, because it's not illegal to live in a hotel. It's not illegal to be in your car or a tent. We see everybody on TikTok. Many families do that. But it was only illegal for Ashley because I had so many people calling DCS. Well, Kevin wanted to comply and just agree because I was way ahead of how to deal with CPS than he was. He was scared, and I don't blame him. In my court papers, which I have them and I'll read them one day, all it says is that he's the father of the 2 babies, not the 3 children. We're not married. I'm across state lines, which means that I'm their legal guardian out of state because they were born in Tennessee. And that Kevin couldn't go to work the next day and transport all the children, which he would have called off of work. He wouldn't have went to work. He would have called off and stayed with them. The only other 2 things in that paperwork was something that happened in January and February when Natty had that toothache and the internet went crazy and said she had a huge, massive infection. Her face was so swelled up because her mama don't care about her. And when she walked in the room, she said, Mom, my tooth's hurt. And I said, take some Tylenol and ibuprofen. And she's like, I don't want to. And I said, well, sis, that's the only option I have. And kind of laughed like that because, like, preteens, you know. I made an appointment. I took her to the dentist the next week, just like they had told me to do. Asked me, will you take her to the dentist? Yeah, I have no problem taking her. The video's still on here. I recorded the dentist saying, come here, Ashley. It's her molars, just like I said on that live. It's your molars, sis. They're coming in. Only thing we can do is take ibuprofen and Tylenol. Same thing. I said, Doc, what do we do? Ibuprofen and Tylenol. I said, thank you. I told the internet that, but they don't listen, and I'm constantly wrong, or it's constantly the opposite of what really is the truth. The only other thing they put in there, I was live then, is a candle got broke in the background, and I had went in the living room to clean it up, and Neelan had gotten like a little bitty sliver of a shard of glass in his foot. He came back there, I took a picture of it, and sent it to DCS and said, before you get a call or referral, you're going to, this is what happened. This candle broke, and you can see, there's not even a spot on his foot. You couldn't even see blood. That's how small it was. Like, it didn't even really puncture his foot. Covered that. Those are the only things listed in my children's removal. So if you don't think that it was all set up, then you're delusional, because it was. So my kid's going to foster care for 2 weeks. The only people that showed up was Kevin's family. Everybody on Kevin's family showed up. And we allowed to let their stepsister, sister take them, all of them together. And since then, she hasn't let us talk to them or see them. We have paid for them. I'm never going to prove that to y'all because it's none of your business how much we send or when we send it. She stopped letting us talk to them a while back. Pretty much when I came back home, yeah, communication was cut off. When in reality, she's supposed to be the guardian who we chose her so that things could stay normal. We could have gatherings and Christmas and Thanksgiving and birthdays and come visit. But no, that has not been what has happened. And it does seem like they were maybe part of it. Because okay, well, since you haven't saw me in a while, then you probably don't know I had a baby either. I had a baby. Same crap. I don't show afraid that person was going to tell that I was pregnant. So I shared in September that I was pregnant. That's all I shared. I didn't share I was going to the doctor, who I was going for, how far along I was, nothing. I kept it private. I did come live, but I kept it private. From the moment that I confirmed I was pregnant, they called DCS. From the moment I confirmed it, they called DCS. They blew DCS's line up. Blew them up. Okay? But see, let me get to that, Stacy. Hold on. Blew them up. I posted his 3D ultrasound because I wanted to show my cute baby, 3D ultrasound. They blew him up, claiming that Kevin wasn't the dad, that we didn't have income for the baby, that we didn't have, that we sold everything that people gifted us online, that we weren't prepared, that we were strung out on a bunch of different drugs, that we lost our other children, so therefore we can't have him. All kinds of stuff. Because we wouldn't agree that he was unsafe and do a safety plan at the hospital, they took custody of him and put him in foster care. But we weren't stupid like we were last time. We did a hair follicle the same day as court, February the 10th. We did a hair follicle, not ordered. February the 11th, we did a home visit, not ordered. We went into court on April the 24th and showed that Kevin makes between $100,000 and $130,000 a year. So there's the income, not including my crafting business and my content. We proved that we weren't on rugs. We took a hair follicle, 2 hair follicles, random home visits, etc. We communicated with my doctor. He was highly furious, said they had medically kidnapped my baby, which they did. We filed our own motions. We represented ourselves. We entered our own evidence. At the very end, the only thing they had left to say was, he's mixed. He's not Kevin's. He's mixed. Anybody who could see that baby a month in, when I shared one video showing he wasn't mixed, can see he's not mixed. He's Kevin's. He looks just like Kevin. I know what day I got pregnant, what time I got pregnant. I literally knew the day I got pregnant. That was their last straw. well, he's not Kevin's. So she walked around the corner and said, and during this time, let me just tell you what happened. They promised me 1 to 2 visits a week for my newborn, to bond with my newborn. I was breastfeeding. I was pumping. They promised me once a week they would try for 2 because I needed that to bond with my child. As soon as the initial investigation was over, and court just kept being postponed, because what happens is when you go to court, it's called a shelter hearing, and you stay in that shelter hearing until adjudication. Adjudication is trial. Trial is where both sides show their evidence. We went to 4 court dates, and he kept us in a shelter hearing. Now, what that says to me is we don't really have any evidence against this person. We're trying to build the evidence, because nothing that has been said to us through the claims and allegations on the hotline have been true. So we're just waiting for something to pop up to be true. So the way the judge acted to my husband, because we were married by then, I requested a recusal. Because if y'all would have seen how he acted to Kevin on the stand, it was not, a judge is supposed to be impartial. He is not supposed to make smirks. He's not supposed to laugh in anyone's favor. He's technically not supposed to know about the case until you come in front of him. They're supposed to call and say, these are the grounds we're trying to remove on. He says yes or no and grants it. And then you come to court and they say they're allegations and assumptions. Well, he had his mind made up about us, and it was very clear in court with how he acted. So, I filed a motion to recuse himself. Thank you, Lord above. He recused himself because he knew he was being partial. And the new judge came in on the 4th court date, 2 months in, 60 days in, and told us to have our child returned immediately. That day, immediately. We proved that legally we have legal scripts in our system that our doctor supervised and approved of. We proved that we are financially stable for him. We proved that we are not who we used to be and have arguments and fights. We proved that he is his. They walked around the corner, so that's what I was saying. I was supposed to get 1 to 2 visits a week with my newborn. I got 1 every 2 weeks. And then at the very end, the last court date, I hadn't seen him in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, I hadn't saw my newborn baby. Okay? So, the only thing the judge asked was, he said, I know you're going to do it. He was so shocked. He said, so you're telling me that you've already done a drug test? I said, yes, sir. 2 days after he was removed. He said, what? I said, yes, sir. We had nothing to hide. We went and took it on our own. He said, I want to see those results right now. I didn't bring them. They were so disheveled. They're not used to parents standing up for themselves. They're not used to parents knowing their laws. They're not used to the parents knowing their rights at all. And when she read it out to him, he was just like, he said, all I want to ask is, he said, I know that you'd like a psych evaluation for your Tennessee case. I said, yes, sir. He said, will you do 1 more hair follicle for us? Sure. Will you let her come 1 to 2 more times? This was months ago. Will you let her come 1 to 2 more times, unexpected? Sure. I don't have any time. And will you take your psych evaluation? I said, yes, sir, I will. I did my psych evaluation. Kevin did his. And everything was cleared. Everything was cleared, and our baby's been with us ever since. And truthfully, it was God. God brought the foster parents into our lives. I got baptized. Our life has been progressing ever since. Ever since we met the foster parents in April, our life is steadily going up. We got our teeth done. Oh yeah, well that was for the Tennessee case. All I lacked for the Tennessee case was parenting class, psych evaluation, and a home that's big enough. Well, the kids are in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house right now. It's big, but it's got the same amount of rooms and the same amount of bathrooms. So, but I hadn't saw my baby for 3 weeks. It was the visit before the 3 weeks happened. Like March the 21st, something like that. And she walks around the corner and she says, Would you do that? Would you like that? Pretty happy about it, like fast. Would you do a DNA test? And Kevin looks at me holding the baby. He looks just like Kevin, like identical. And I know he was gonna say, why do we need one? Because we didn't need one. He looked just like him. Like, more than any of my other children, he is dug out of Kevin's booty. He is identical to Kevin, hands, feet, head, all of it. I look over at Kevin, I said, I think we should, so that I can post it online and rub it in those bitches' faces. And she didn't even ask Kevin. She just ran around. She said, come on, man, come on. And ran back around the room to the back room. And Kevin was like, I didn't even answer. I said, let's just do it. When it came time for court, they would not tell us about the DNA test. We had a it's called in-home services meeting versus a safety plan or versus all that stuff. We had a in-home services, which means that the case closer, she's the one that came and did the one hair follicle, and she's the one who did the 1 to 2 home visits random. So that's all he ordered. 1 to 2 random home visits within the next 30 days. Do a hair follicle within 30 days. Do the psych evaluation. So that's how it happened. And we did our psych evaluation, flying colors. He was an 80-year-old man who's been doing psychiatry for, I think he said 50, 60 years. He usually does disability cases, but he won't do them online because people try to lie and get disability. So he makes you come in person. If you're ever going for a psych evaluation, let me just tell you, they watch how you walk in. They smell you. They look at your clothing to see, is it together? Is it clean? Is it nice? They watch you to see if you fidget, if you stare off in space, if you are anxious. They watch every single thing about you. It's every single. I'm cleaning. I'm sweeping. And my stuff's in there stationary. So they watch everything about you. So just know that. Some people may not know that. Why be so rude? Do you know how easy it is to swipe on? Swipe on down. Let me teach you. So simple. So simple to swipe. You might be surprised at how much stuff people don't know. Because once again, they haven't experienced it. So unless you tell people about stuff they haven't experienced, then how do they ever know? That's just insanity to me. Just because you know something don't mean someone else knows something. Yes. Yes, we did. We did. Thank goodness. Thank God above. I've been cleaning it, but I want to become an advocate against DCS, and listen, I can't promise anything. I done said that. I've already went over that a few minutes ago. You probably weren't on here, but I'm going to petition the courts for weekends, holidays, and birthdays. Whenever we buy our forever house, which I'm hoping will be 4, 5, or 6 bedrooms, then I'll petition for them to come home. Now, I'm afraid my older two is not going to want to come home, and that's okay. I'm not going to force them to come home. I want them to visit me, but I'm not going to force them to come home until they're ready to come home. Now, the younger ones, they're under the age of 12, 13. They really aren't as voiced about the older two have got friends. They're in the Boys and Girls Club. They making good grades, and I wouldn't do that to my oldest son. I'm not going to do it to my younger sons either, my younger children. My older son was taken when he was 7. His dad got him, and within 3 years, he didn't let me talk to him or see him. I tried. He would cancel my visit. He would not show up, wouldn't answer the phone. And so my son thought that I'd just forgotten about him. Well, then some life events happened in their life and changed it where it was just them two. And I started talking to him again. And my son was like, Mom, why didn't you ever take it to court and get me back? And I said, son, you were 11 by then, 12. You had already had your friends established. You had, your routine established. And I wanted you to, he did eventually come home, for the summer. He'd come down for, I think 4 weeks in 2021. 2021. So things did change, but going to court and petitioning for me to have him versus his dad, I wasn't going to do that to him because he had to reestablish his whole life when he was 7. He had family, he had friends, he had his routine down here, and then he had to move 10, 11 hours away and start all over. So I try to be thoughtful about my children. And have I always been this way? No, I was young and my pineal gland wasn't developed, and I made some poor choices and mistakes like we all do. But I am going to try. I'm going to try to at least petition for a start. I'm looking for something and I can't find it. Where did it go? But anyways, thank you for the hand heart. I'm going to battle soon. Not tonight. Well, it might be tonight. I don't know. I got to get my room situated. I'm going to battle soon and do my sales again soon. Ugh. Yeah. We were moved in within a night. We rented the U-Haul at 8:30, and we started moving about 9:30. And we brought it all here about 6. So we moved in the middle of the night so that nobody could drive by and know we were moving, so that nobody could, and it wasn't so hot. We moved so that nobody could see us and because it wasn't so hot. So yeah, I go tomorrow to get our stove and our washer and dryer. So, it's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. One of the rooms is my craft room, but they're in a 3-bedroom, 2-bath right now. So that's why I said I'm going to petition for weekends and holidays and birthdays to start out. Then when we buy our forever home, then I'll petition for more. Yeah, it's just that way. They say, I was going to visit family and I saw her truck there, or she wasn't there, she was outside, or... Yeah, now they can't do that. Now they can't just drive by and be like, oh, she's at home, she's not at home. No, they can't do that. So, if they do, the little cameras are going to catch them because it's called stalking, and I live on a dead-end road at the dead end. So, if you try to drive by and stalk me, the cameras are going to get you. So, you know. Well, thank you. Like I said, going to Alabama was not good for me. That's probably one of the only things that I've still got to get over. I do see a counselor, but what can a counselor really do? You know, you can only just talk to them, express yourself, and then deal with the emotions as they come. And sometimes they don't come when you expect them to. So, let me put this. Hold on. Put this in my mouth. Well, thank you. Yeah, Candy, I've noticed your name before. I've noticed your name before. Dang, I just dropped way too much. Yeah, we just want peace. Like, I have not been online every day doing lives. I haven't even done sales in months. Like, months and months. So they can't say, she's online 24/7, neglecting her children, neglecting her child. Nope. I am going to go back to cooking. It might be a few weeks, but I will go back to cooking eventually. It'll be soon. It won't be long, but I'm excited about that. I'm excited about going back to battling. I hadn't battled since the kids left. I can't wait to get my cleaning business going. I have got 3 houses I'm supposed to look at this week. I was waiting for my teeth to be done, which these are good enough for now. Once I get my permanents, it'll be better, but this is a good starting point. I was waiting to get my teeth so that I wouldn't be meeting new people with no teeth, you know, because first impression is everything. It really is. So, I got my teeth, so that's a good start. I'm going to go back to doing my crafting and battles and just lives. Probably late I hadn't ate anything yet. Kevin has gotten used to his. He got his bottoms on like, I went on Monday. He went on Thursday. So, 27, 28, he went on 7:30. 7:30. And he went to the leadership conference on the morning of the 4th. So he didn't have a lot of time, and they're not really great. They kind of just did them really quickly so he could have something in his mouth. They're not his permanent. His tops are his permanents, but his bottoms aren't. And they just made some so that he could have teeth to go down there. And he's already eaten his. He was just, last night, he's like, it's so nice to have teeth. I was like, okay. Grandma taught me to, like, chew really slow. And I take forever to eat. Like, forever. Kevin's like, Ashley, gosh, come on now. I mean, if we go out to eat, I'm taking a to-go plate with me. Because there's no way I'm going to finish it. And so it's going to take me a while. It's going to take me a while to get used to eating. I've just now gotten to where drinking don't bother me much. Not really. Like I said, it does bother me, but not like it was. It was really bothering me to where I couldn't, like I was gagging when I tried to drink. So, but that was before. Oh, girl, I gotta get stuff done. Baby's visiting right now, so I'm trying to get the house, at least some of it together. Yeah. We still got half of the house to wash all the walls, half the house to wash all the baseboards. I still got this bathroom in here to do. The baby or the spare room, still got all of it to do. And the cabinets to do. Lot of work. So, but I'm going to, I will start cooking, like I said, when we get our stove and get kind of situated. Me and him don't really eat a lot, but I'm willing to cook to make videos and to make lives. I did not drink all that. Where'd it go? Da, da, da. Oh, yeah, it's been a while. There it is. We just don't eat. Like, he takes the moringa and he's lost like 40 pounds. Literally, he's lost so much weight by taking the moringa. And he said from getting his teeth done because he couldn't eat for a while. Oh, thank you. We did. This is our last rental. This will be the last rental before we buy. But he told me it's because he took moringa and because he couldn't eat those first like 2 weeks. He didn't have any bottom teeth the first month. He got his removed and just waited on his denture. So he says it's from that. And it is. He looks good. Even the people at leadership who hadn't saw him in months said, "Dang, you look good." No, it's a pill. It's a vitamin. Supposedly it's got like 92 vitamins that your body lacks. He will only buy this brand though. It's called Rosa Bella Moringa. He swears it's the only kind that works. That anything else don't work. It's helped me a little bit. It's helped me a little bit, but I've been taking carb and sugar blockers and B12 and B6 and the moringa. He's been taking it probably, I've been home since May, so 14 months. He's probably been taking it between 18 and 20 months. Yeah. 18 months, something like that. I don't think it's necessarily for weight loss, but it helps with that weight loss. Let me get my other phone and I'll read it to you. I read it to y'all before, but I can't remember exactly. I don't want to lie to y'all. So. Da, da, da. Da, 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 da. Moringa. Gosh, it's so different getting used to this. Okay. Moringa. Okay. Well, that's not what I wanted. We're not used to using an Android. It's so different. I can always back out of stuff, and I end up somewhere else. I'm like, my word, you know, my gosh, buttons are all different. Okay, let's see. No, go back. Okay. Listen. Rosabella moringa is designed to lower cortisol, the hidden root cause behind stress, weight gain, poor sleep, and brain fog. Just one daily dose helps restore balance from within, naturally supporting your mood, metabolism, and mental clarity. All-day energy without any crashes, deeper sleep and better recovery, reduced stress and irritability, clearer thinking without brain fog. It says, today's food supply is not what it used to be. GMOs, pesticides, and nutrient-depleted soil have drastically reduced the quality of the foods we eat. 92% of people are lacking critical nutrients their bodies need to thrive. 74% suffer from symptoms like fatigue, brain fog, and poor sleep, all signs of underlying nutrient deficiencies. When your body is missing essential nutrients, your mitochondria, your cells' energy powerhouses, can't function properly. This leads to constant fatigue, irritability, and a cascade of health problems over time. It says, known as the miracle tree, moringa has been cherished for centuries for its incredible health benefits. Its unmatched nutrient profile makes it a powerful tool for restoring balance and vitality to the body. Packed with over 90 essential nutrients, including vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, Rosabella moringa replenishes your body with what it's missing. These nutrients restore mitochondrial function to efficiently convert food into energy, reduces oxidative stress and repair damaged cells, and support better sleep, balanced mood, and improved vitality. Feel revitalized from the inside out with Rosabella moringa. You're harnessing the power of nature's most nutrient-dense plant to reclaim your energy, balance, and resilience. It says 42% reported a significant increase in energy levels within 14 days. 38% experienced deeper, more restorative sleep. 67% showed a reduction in oxidative stress, supporting immunity and resilience. 84% noticed healthier skin, stronger nails, and improved hair quality. It says it has vitamin C to fight oxidative stress and support collagen production, quercetin to combat inflammation and protect your cells, chlorogenic acid to support healthy blood sugar levels, magnesium to promote relaxation and deeper sleep, and vitamins B1, B2, and B6 to boost energy and support brain function. It says that it has 5 times more B12 than beef liver. It boosts energy levels, combats fatigue, and improves alertness and reduces tiredness. It has 3 times more iron than spinach, prevents anemia, improves stamina, supports red blood cell production, and enhances oxygen delivery to muscles. 2 times more vitamin D than fortified milk, boosts energy and vitality, combats tiredness, supports immune health, and improves mood and mental clarity. 4 times more magnesium than kale, reduces fatigue, supports muscle and nerve function, enhances energy production, and relieves muscle soreness. 7 times more vitamin C than oranges, strengthens the immune system, reduces inflammation, protects against oxidative stress, and indirectly supports energy levels by keeping the body functioning well. So, it is pure and potent, freshly harvested, no additives, gluten-free, no GMO, made in a USA FDA registered facility. It's like a vitamin. And if you go on Try Rosabella tribulations.site, it'll show you all this. It shows you like 1 week, 2 months, 3 months, people reviewing it. This person did it 2 months. It says balanced hormones and optimized nutrient levels result in sustained energy, reduced fatigue, and clearer mental focus, helping you feel revived. It shows you what it does within the time frame you take it. Plus, there's reviews. The reviews are right here. Like, they got them on there. So I'll show you. It's Rosabella. Here you go. No, not lab gifts. I don't know what I'm doing. It is Rosabella SS.site. This is what it looks like. This is us in person. And if you've got any type of coupons on TikTok, you might could use them. He orders his from TikTok. I think he might have started ordering it from Amazon, but I'm not sure. But he swears by that kind only. He's been, like I said, people at work took it, and here's what he said. People at work want a quick fix. They want I want to drop 20 pounds in 2 weeks. That's not going to happen. But overall, it's made Kevin happier. It's made him healthier. It's made him lose weight. He goes to the bathroom regular. What he says he does is, in the morning time, when he takes it, he drinks hot cocoa with it, something warm to help it dissolve. I don't ever do that, and I don't think that I get like the potency out of it, but vice versa. Someone else can try it and say that they didn't feel anything. He likes it. Gifts are suspended in your life due to leveraging personal financial needs or causes to solicit gifts and financial aid. When did I do that? We're talking about moringa. Never. But anywho, it varies from person to person. He says he feels considerably different when he don't take it. If he goes a couple weeks without it, he swears that he don't feel it. Like he feels like completely different than he does on it. So try it, take it. Don't know if it'll work for you. Might not, may work. I don't know. But it is something that's worked for him. So, you know. As much as the human body is all close to the same, we are all different. We are. We're all different. So, things that work for him may not work for me, and vice versa. Boop, boop. I spilled that. I haven't done this in so long that I don't even know how to invite people. I see Miss Wendy on there. Oh. So this is how you invite people to like a bunch of boxes without battling. Okay. Well, that works. Okay, so what about this Lindsay Clancy trial? The chats went down to 190, so we're not as bombarded as we were. what y'all's opinions about it. See, not saying that I can't sit down and watch the whole thing every day, but I'm not gonna say my attention span, because I got stuff I need to do is the reason why, but I just get bored with like watching something that takes hours and hours and hours and hours. So I watch snippets of it, and I don't want to be misled because of that, but it just seems very, how can I put it, suspicious. Seems very suspicious, like things just don't add up, you know? How did y'all say the other week that it's supposed to last 8 weeks or 8 days? Because I know it's already been like 2 weeks, right? Because it started like the end of July. So it's supposed to go like that long. And what do y'all think the agenda of her lawyer is? Like, what is he trying to, I guess, prove or disprove? Because, I mean, really, he's already put enough doubt in our mind. Like, plenty of doubt.